Hey, Chris, man. Good morning again. How y'all doing? I got another story time, but this ain't gonna be that long. This is about the time when I bought exotic animals. Excuse me. Now, this was maybe 2006, 2007. Yeah. The job I had at the time, the guy was telling me, man, because me and him was talking about dogs, and I happen to like Presa Canarios, They look like pit bulls, but on steroids, But they're real loyal. That's what I like. They're loyal out the gate. You really ain't got to put too much training on them. And they big. You know what I'm saying? But he told me, hey, a nigga named Chris, you like exotic animals? I said, hell yeah. So he said, let me get you with my man in Florida. You can get what you want. I said, bullshit. But man, no bullshit. And this is what the story about. Now, one time I said, okay, what can I get that's going to make me stand out? Because at the time, I was kind of dibbling, dabbling in the game, So I had a lot of money just laying around. But I wasn't the one buying cars and jewelry. I was the one that had the animals, and I had the house ducked off. I had one car, maybe two. But a lot of people didn't see the second one, It was kind of like something you pulled out for occasions. You know what I'm saying? Like that good old outfit. But the dude said, man, I can get Komodo dragons, gators, pumas, and shit like that. I said, man, bullshit. Okay, let me get a couple alligators in. Because I already had a setup for when I had some Oscars in the aquarium. But when I told him the size, he said, oh, yeah, they'll outgrow that quick. So I said, okay. He said, just feed them once or twice a week. They won't grow too fast. But they will eat anything. I said, okay. So next couple of weeks, we chopped it up on, over the phone, FaceTime. But one thing that struck me was he was like, they hatch between 60 and 62 days after gestation. So it's best that these animals see you when they come out the egg. So then they'll think you're the mother or the father or whatever. So I was like, okay. So what I did was I paid a little extra. At the time, I paid like $150 for 2 eggs. They was going to hatch any day, but I paid overnight. So that was an extra $17 at the time, overnight from Florida. So, man, first day was kind of boring, but you could see how they was poking, like how little kids poke through plastic. You could see they started poking the egg, but they haven't full-fledged. So the next day I called out on my job, because I wanted to watch. I wanted to be the mother, you know what I'm saying? I wanted that experience, so that's exactly what happened. I say maybe midday, that day I called in. And when I got them, it was a Saturday. Well, I got them Friday, so they hatched on a Saturday. And the crazy thing is I named them Jekyll and Hyde, because one is so cool, one was cool. One would let anyone hold them. Eat out your hand type shit. You wouldn't even believe it. The other one is the total motherfucking opposite. The total opposite, my nigga. Hyde, he did not care. He hissed, he'll attack. The little motherfucker was 3 months, and he up there attacking people's feet when they come in. To where people was not even coming in the house for a 3-month gator. You know what I'm saying? And a 3-month gator ain't nothing but maybe a foot long, maybe a half. Mostly tail. But yeah, the thing with the egg, that was 100% logic. I loved it. Because when they both see me, I never got bit. I never got threatened. I got hissed at because, Hyde was filling me out the first few days, because he came out the womb like an animal. Know what I mean? But yeah, he was able to let me hold him, but he wouldn't let nobody else hold him. Because like I said, they thought I was mom. And I had him for like a year and a half, both of them. But of course, when you're not in the South, they're legal, pretty much. So, one day, You know, I was being stupid. You know, like I said, I was in the game, so I'm riding around with a gator in the seat. I wasn't the only one doing it either. You know what I'm saying? But riding around with a gator in the seat. Someone saw it and reported it. So the National Fish and Game reached out to me and they told me, you know, we could take them now free and clear, no problems. They look healthy, you know, they ain't look malnourished or nothing. I said, go ahead, man. Because the way they was talking was I can get 5 years for each animal. Just because they was illegal where I was staying. I was like, nope, you can take them. And I was pissed, but hell, I got the experience of having 2 alligators at home. And the way I had it was, this little side room I had, I fixed it to where it was like a makeshift moat or a pond. And I just let them in there and put heat rocks around after they outgrew the aquarium I had. Because I was tired of buying them big-ass aquariums and didn't have no help getting them into the house and had to clean the water out every week because they just messy-ass fucking eaters. But the way they devour food together and they hit each other with the death row, man, you had to see it. It's different from watching it on TV. So you can imagine if I'd have had 2 10-foot gators death rowing dogs and cow and shit. I mean, man, it was a hell of an experience, man, because I was the only one at the time with 2 alligators and I was flossing them. I walked around. Sometimes when I took Hyde out, like to a car wash or an event that was going on in town, I'd tape his mouth up. You know, Jekyll, he was cool. No problems. Like I said, I could walk up to one of you guys tomorrow if I still had him. You could hold him. He would have had his mouth open, but he'd have been enjoying the sun, enjoying the people. You know, it was crazy. I used to be able to turn them over and rub their bellies. They'll go right to sleep. And I'm not bullshitting. I used to actually fall asleep with them on the floor. And not one time if they ever tried to get at my toes. Nothing. But I'm telling you, this motherfucker Hyde, I wish I'd have had a video on it, you know, because I was trying not to get caught at the time. But I wish I had video because, man, this dude was bad. I mean, he see the door open night or day, he running toward the door, hissing. He's not caring. He never did it to me, though, because I guess somehow he knew my voice or whatever. But, man, it was an experience, man. And now I think about it, other animals I've had an anaconda. You know, I've had a whole bunch of dogs. I've had a few cats. I almost had a puma. I just didn't have nowhere to keep it. But I almost had it because the guy was selling it to me for $1,000, and at the time I had it. But he was saying shit. It'd take like $1,000 a week just to feed the motherfucker. I was like, oh man, I ain't about to be slinging no iron just for no cat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the one starving. You know what I'm saying? But just a little itty bitty story time. Animals. You know, I wouldn't recommend nobody getting it without approval or being in a place where you can keep them, because you will fall in love with these gators. Any kind of exotics that you can really tame and hold and enjoy, you will fall in love with them. And you'll be mad when you gotta let them go or they die. So that was the thing I hated. I had to let them go because in reality I couldn't keep them. But just that little time I had, I mean, I love to see them eat. Like I said, I never got attacked. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? And some people in the hood knew it. And they was just tripping. They thought I was paying $1,000 a gator. I'm like, no. I paid like $80, $90 an egg. But that was back then. So now it might be a different story. But again, it's just story time about some animals I had in my life. I'm going to hit y'all with some more story times. But that's it. Y'all have a good day, man. Nigga named Chris.